Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. I'm speaking to you this week from our library, and in front of me are the tables. And if you come on a Shabbat morning, you'll see that there's a group gathered here to study Torah and to wrestle with our tradition and the words in the text, to try and figure out what it all means and how to make sense of it all. If you stop by on a Tuesday afternoon, you'll see this same table filled with people in a Talmud class. And in many other classes, this table is a constant source for wrestling. It's almost our own little private wrestling ring. In a sense, what we're doing is a deeply Jewish activity. And it isn't just because wrestling is mentioned in this week's Torah portion, but rather what happened in this week's Torah portion. Jacob and God wrestle, and Jacob emerges with a hip but with a new name, is an important lesson to us. The struggle is sacred in our tradition. We're living in difficult times right now, times where we seem to struggle an awful lot. And the hard part is to see the holiness in it, because it's really much easier to see all of the difficulties, the crazy statements on this side or that side, the obnoxious behavior on this side or that side. But I think our tradition says, in the heart of that struggle, in the search for truth that underlies all of that struggle, there is holiness. And so Jacob's struggle is one that is a struggle to make God a real part of his life, and to make Judaism important, and to make Judaism an essential piece of who he is. In that sense, the struggles that we're enduring these days are equally important and valid. They are the struggles for our own belief in who we are. They're the struggles to define what it means to be an American. And to emerge from that struggle with a busted hip and a limp, but to emerge is to find victory. So don't be afraid of the struggle that is coming if you feel that it's a struggle coming. In fact, do what Jacob did. Go into the ring, wrestle your hardest, and if you walk out with a scar or two, know that that scar simply means that you have lived and pursued your ideals as you understand them. Now, not all of us see the current situation as a struggle, of course, but all of us recognize that in the wrestling matches that go on, whether it's in a presidential campaign or anything else, it is different groups arguing their path for the best way they see America to be in the times ahead. When Jacob wrestled, he was looking for his own best path forward, and he emerged wounded, but more whole than he had started. I hope you can join us for services Friday night. They'll be at 6 o'clock here at the temple. Pre-Oneg, of course, at 5:30. Shabbat morning, we have our text study right here at 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock our Torah study. At 11, our 6th graders will be leading us in a wonderful Shabbat morning service. There's a potluck luncheon to follow afterwards. We invite you to join us and bring a dish to share. Sunday morning, we're filled with all sorts of activities here. Our kids are going to be learning about Hanukkah, so if you want to get the smell of latkes, this is going to be the place to be. So the kids will be doing all sorts of things going on Sunday morning. And next week, we have the usual sets of activities. Tuesday, Talmud. Monday night on the 19th, we have the next in our Diaspora Dinner Series. We'll be meeting at Ichiban in Liverpool to learn about the Jews of Japan. And it is an interesting story, and I hope you can join us. Please do call the temple office to let us know. On Tuesday evening, I will be continuing to teach in the new adult education program that the community's rabbis have created called Devar Acher. I'll be teaching over at Congregation Beth Shalom on the question of, is there a December dilemma, and how we look at the challenges facing all of us of faith in the month of December. For now, though, I wish you wrestling. I wish you the kind of back and forth, the fighting that brings one to a new level of truth. And as crazy as it sounds, I wish for you to have scars, because scars are indicative of a life fully lived, of engagement, of being involved. If you have no scars, it's like getting out of a sports game with a clean uniform. It means you didn't play. I want to come out with a muddy, bloodied uniform with tears and stains and rips, because that's how life is lived most fully. When we engage, when we wrestle, when we push ourselves to the limit and the other to the limit, and we emerge with a new understanding, a new level of truth, a new level of holiness. Shabbat Shalom for now. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.